Okay, well, today for Cardinal Fast Five, I am really excited to have President John Garvey with us. Welcome, President Garvey.
Thank you very much, Mike. Nice to be joining you.
Yeah, this is great. I appreciate doing this. You know, during finals week, we want to let our guys concentrate on the work. And
it gives me a good break from grading my papers as well.
Oh, good. I'm glad that we could do that for you. So I'll go ahead and jump right into our quick quiz here. First question. So I'm not sure if everybody knows, but I've lived in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and when you were at UK, you obviously lived in the Commonwealth. Did you ever get to attend a horse race at Churchill Downs?
Never. I attended frequently at the Keeneland racetrack in
Okay.
Lexington, though. My wife has been to the Derby any number of times. She's got friends that she goes to watch it with, and that's pretty exciting. But the Keeneland racetrack is, I think it's the prettiest racetrack in America. I've been thrown out of 3 places in my life, all of them for improper attire. I got thrown out of the Ritz in Boston, the Harvard Club in New York, and the Keeneland racetrack because you got to have a tie to go into the clubhouse.
Oh, my goodness. That's priceless.
Yeah. Say, I'll tell you, at the Keeneland racetrack, a guy we always used to see was Paul Hornung, who was a famous football player.
Oh, no kidding.
For the Green Bay Packers. And
Yeah.
had a Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's neat.
He was from Louisville originally, and was a fan of horse racing.
Yeah, great running back. Yeah. Okay.
Go see the Trotters at the Red Mile too. I have to put in.
Okay. Yeah, I never went to Keeneland. We got to go once to Churchill Downs the week after the Derby, and it was still so iconic to just see the 2 spires there. It was really cool. So,
yeah. Well, I love horse racing, but I've never been to Churchill Downs.
Okay. Well, good. Maybe a bucket list. Second question. So you've been a professor and or leader in administration at 3 of what I call the great Catholic universities in the U.S., all with strong football traditions. So all 3 of these prestigious schools have played in the Orange Bowl, and I'm talking about Notre Dame, Boston College, and the Catholic University of America. So which one of those 3 has not won the Orange Bowl?
It'll probably be Boston College.
Yep, that's right. Yep,
the University of America beat Ole Miss in the Orange Bowl.
We sure did. Yep,
we have not forgotten it.
And that was Boston College lost to Alabama, I believe, in 1943.
Yeah, you know, I think Notre Dame beat Alabama. So when I was a boy, Notre Dame wouldn't go to bowl games. I think they played in the Rose Bowl in the 20s, and then they didn't play again until I was in college. Then they started playing more games in the course of a
They
year.
did.
So they've probably been to half a dozen Orange Bowls.
Yep, that's right. Okay, so a question about campus. So years before Murphy's, we're talking 30-some years ago, there was a fantastic pub on campus, and it is now occupied by an office on campus. Do you know which office is in the location that used to be the Rathskeller?
Yeah, it's in the basement of O'Connell, where our alumni relations office runs now. It used to be called the Rathskeller. It was a very popular thing among alumni of a certain age, and the reason is that the drinking age used to be 18 in DC, and so a lot more people could go to drink on campus than are permitted to nowadays. But
well, I have
some of that back in Murphy's.
Selfishly, I have to confess that I'm very glad the drinking age is higher now. It makes things a little bit easier for me, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Although, you know, that's a hard thing to judge about. One of our principal reason for wanting to allow beer and wine and so on in Murphy's was not just for alumni and faculty, but also for students who were seniors on campus. One thought we had in mind is that it's a lot safer for them to be drinking beer in a place where they can walk home from. So there was true. That. There's a certain amount of drinking that goes on, which is, I should say, illegal and unauthorized, but we have to recognize that it happens anyway. And yeah, I'm not sure what to do about this.
No, there's a certain, I think if you can learn responsibly a little bit, that you could have 2 or 3 beers and really enjoy yourself. There's something to be said for that, instead of sort of skulking around, trying to, you know, get it where you can, instead of understanding that it's a great social way to interact if you handle it correctly.
Yeah, one of the things that's happening in our culture that's different from, so this was true in my own biography and true in the lives of our children. Um, yeah, I think there's always been drinking, even underage drinking on college campuses. One of the things that's happened in the last 10 years is there's a lot more binge drinking, meaning people drink to excess and too
Yeah.
frequently. And I'm not sure what drives that. It isn't immediately obvious, but I think it's one of the serious problems that we have to deal with. And it's accompanied by much stronger drugs than used to be available, and a greater tolerance for abuse of drugs, and those you can get messed up in a very short time. Um, yeah, so, and I think one of the great things that our coaches are able to do is preach the right message to kids about being responsible.
It's a common theme for me, talking to the guys about that. You can't, this concept of choice really doesn't necessarily exist, because if you want what you really say you want, of being excellent and being great, there really isn't a choice. You can't get involved in that stuff. You can't do it. So, the concept of, well, I can choose to this, to that. Well, if you really say you want to be great at football or any sport or swimming or tennis, even, you just can't choose those things. You have to say, this is what I get to do, and that's it.
Yeah, right.
So, okay, well, not to get my soapbox, sorry, President Garvey. Okay, so could you give us a recommendation of some reading that you're doing now or interested in getting to that is not higher ed related?
Yeah, one of the books that I just finished as a book on tape was a massive. There's a biography of George Washington by Ron Chernow. He's a writer that I like. He did a biography of Grant. He did a well-known biography of Alexander Hamilton. But this took, I can't tell you how many hours, 30, 40 hours of car rides listening to this Washington biography. But I'm a great lover of George Washington, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. Another book that Ernie Suarez from our English department recommended to me was Kathleen Ann Porter's Pale Horse, Pale Rider. I reread Camus' The Plague when this started, just to see what there was to be learned, and so Ernie recommended Pale Horse, Pale Rider to me. So I'm reading plague-related books.
Oh, awesome. Okay, last question, and this one I always ask on these. What is something positive you discovered during this crisis that has really surprised you?
What's really surprised me, speaking as a technophobe, the ability to see people on Zoom has been a real eye-opener for me. I think people have discovered Zoom too. There have been online platforms. We used to use Skype with our kids, but the faculty are using Zoom now, and the Google Hangouts platform is improving. You can see more people on it now. Right. But Jeannie and I have taken to using Zoom to have dinner with our kids. So we'll schedule each kid on a different night of the week, and we'll just stand the camera up, and they'll sit down at the table on their end, and we'll sit down at the table on our end, and we'll say grace and sit down for a meal, talk to the kids, and do. And it's been really nice. I think we actually have seen more of grandchildren in this way than we ordinarily do in the course of a week, and I never would have supposed it. I think it's going to change our own business too. I think it's going to have lasting effects on higher education, and I think it will improve our method of doing some things, as it does our dinner conversation with our kids.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been an amazing how quickly we've assimilated to it and turned it into a productive, platform.
Yeah, you can't play contact football on it, but there are
no. But we're working our way there. It seems like we'll get there.
I'm sure looking forward to the season.
Oh, well, thank you so much, President Garvey. This has been awesome. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much for having me. It's so nice to see you, Mike.
Good to see you too.
Bye.